Hello everyone and welcome to something a little new. As you might have seen here on YouTube, it is a very popular video idea for artists to draw themselves or their persona in various different styles, including those of known art YouTubers. So today I thought I'd do the same, but adding a little shystarfall twist to it. On top of drawing myself in their style, I will also be drawing their personas in my own to go along with it. And yeah, let's take it to the wheel. The first artist we got is Daidus himself. For those who do not know, Daidus is a storytime animator whose main focus is around weeb and anime culture. I've been a fan of his work for quite a bit now. Him together with Emeritu and CDogVA make a trio that I really look up to content-wise. They're all very funny and they have a really interesting dynamic that I really appreciate. When I was younger and I first got into the whole anime community, that's when I was introduced to this trio, and especially Daidus here was really fun back then to watch and still is, because of his chaotic video styles and just his energy as a whole is really fun to watch. Now, when it comes to the actual challenge, I had so much fun drawing myself in his style. For those who don't know, Daidus has gone to art school, so he can make really detailed pieces. You can see them all, on Instagram and such. But for his videos, he decides to keep it mostly simple, probably to speed up the whole video making process. So I decided to go with that style instead, as it's more iconic, If you think of Daidus as a fan, you'll always remember that very blue, blue line art, blue colors, blue tints. And so that's what I tried to replicate here, drawing myself. Also very anime-esque style here, so I'm kind of used to doing that, so it wasn't too much of an issue in that sense. Now to the other part of the challenge, I had to draw Daidus in my own style. Thankfully I had already attempted it before, as I made some fan art for him in the past, but this time I really wanted to make it look really good. So, Daidus' look is very iconic. He's got that iconic hat, the yellow and blue shirt, the blue hair. So I just had a lot of fun mostly drawing him, and it was a really great time. The second artist I was graced with was Ice Cream Sandwich. Ice Cream Sandwich, again, for those who do not know, is a comic maker and an artist that makes these very funny shorts, mostly on social media, but he also makes longer kind of story time styled videos on YouTube. He is very entertaining. I absolutely love the shorts he makes and the videos as well. Now, for the challenge, I did not want to go simple. I really wanted to put everything I could into this video and make something entertaining. So what I did is, instead of just drawing myself in his style, I went a little bit above and beyond. I made a short myself in his style, which I myself have never done, but I thought it would be a fun challenge to attempt. But I put it all in the editing software, mashed it all together, put the timing of the song perfectly, and at the end we ended up with something very funny, and I absolutely love it. Now, when it came my time to draw Ice Cream Sandwich's persona, I'll be honest, I had a little bit of trouble. His persona is very simple, so trying to adapt it into a style that's a bit more detailed can often look a bit strange. So I went for a bit of more of a feral, I guess you could call it, pose, and gave him the classic human hands, and I added a little pizza, and I think it turned out pretty good. Maaz. One of many artists that I also look up to in the artist storytime YouTube. He's very jolly, very bright personality. I had the fortune of actually playing a couple of games of Among Us with him, and we just had a blast. That was a really fun time. Well, when it comes to the actual challenge though, this was actually one of the ones that didn't give me as much trouble as the others. When I had to draw myself in his style, I just put a bunch of reference together and just analyzed it. Maz uses very bold line art, very blue, dark blue line art, and his characters, none of them have eyes. Thankfully, one aspect of our personas that is the same really helped out. The fact that we both had glasses. All I had to do was simply mold my own persona to the style of his, and it ended up looking pretty accurate, I'd like to say. Just like Daidus, I had already made some fan art for Maz in the past, so this was just a walk in the park for me, as I was familiar with his design and everything. I put him in a very smart pose, as Maz has been having a lot of fun with showing his IQ in Among Us games, and I thought it would fit his kind of vibe very well. Apselene is an art content creator who does a lot of animation memes. She does a lot of tutorials to help other artists out, and mostly what I personally found her through were her style videos, where she changed her own art style to match those of other artists. By far, the drawing of this challenge that I had the most fun with was this one. This is also the one that took the most amount of time, mostly because Absalene doesn't really have a set style. She's very dynamic in the way she draws. Each one of her drawings is very, very unique. So I had to, I had the freedom to pick and choose exactly what I wanted to use for mine. I even had some fun aspects where I pulled some Oni features, the Oni teeth for my persona, even though my own persona doesn't have it. I just thought it would add to the tone of the type of drawings she makes. What stood out to me the most with Apselene's drawings had to be how alive they kind of felt. They all felt like they were moving, that they were, in motion, and hopefully I try to capture some of that aspect in action through my drawing. On the flip side, I actually decided to draw Oidoro, who is Apselene's most notable OC, the Oni girl. I thought the design would be really, really fun to tackle in my style, especially because I tend to use muted colors when I do my drawings, and to break out of my comfort zone and do something as wild and vivid as Oidoro would be really fun to try out. If this video ever finds its way to Apselene, I'd just like to say thank you. Thank you for being an inspiration like all these other artists are to me. And for me specifically, your editing style and your voiceover types of videos have been really, really inspiring. So yeah, thank you. Now, to round this whole thing off with our fifth artist, I have someone who is very, very well known in the community and online as a whole. If you haven't heard of her, I'm not sure where you've been, but Jaden Animations has been a pivot of the online art community for many, many years, being very, very inspirational to a lot of people. I could be mistaken, but I believe she was one of the first artists that started the trend of having, story time channels, as she grew on from there to make videos, surrounded her personality and her friends, which is something that I think is really cool. When it comes to the challenge, this one was also pretty easy, as to fit, animations, the animator's style cannot be extremely complicated. So when I drew myself in Jaden's style, it was a breeze, to say the least. Now drawing Jaden, I also had a lot of fun drawing her floofy hair, and Ari as well. I put her at the end on her hand to really sum up her whole character. Well, that about sums it up. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. I have a lot more art content on the horizon, and please, if you ever have any fan art from me, please make sure to tag me on Twitter or Instagram. I will absolutely love them, like I did with all of these. The video isn't quite over yet. If you'd like to see more content from me, please click one of the 2 links you see on screen. And that's about it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye!